What is your funniest stripper story? When I was 18, it was student night at this club on Wednesday, so I and 7 or 8 others went in. Of course, the ladies were looking rough. Except there was this gorgeous, tiny girl making all the money. A buddy got a lap dance in one of the booths. As he is getting it, this monstrous woman storms through the front door and starts looking around frantically. She spots the girl's back and walks over. We're all sitting there like, what the fuck is about to happen? The woman politely waits for my friend's dance to be completed. He gives her tip, then the stripper turns around and gives the best holy shit face I have ever seen. Turns out it was the girl's mom, and the stripper was, in fact, only 16. Needless to say, insanity ensues for a good 45 minutes. Police show up and the manager is freaking out. The girl used 2 fake IDs and someone else's birth certificate to get the job. The shouting back and forth between all the parties involved was mind-numbingly absurd, including the police officer who I swear had an IQ of 9 and couldn't understand what was going on. Best $4 entertainment I ever had in Lexington, Kentucky. This isn't my story, but rather my brother's. He was in Atlantic City for a bachelor party with a bunch of his college buds, so of course this meant booze, gambling, and strippers. They're out at some strip club, and generally have a great time. The groom-to-be, however, is generally uncomfortable with the whole enterprise as he's a pretty reserved guy. Now my brother generally can't stand for that balderdash, and decides he's going to show his friend a good time whether he likes it or not. He orders up a few shots, and calls over this Brazilian chick who had just started working there. He hands the girl and his friend a shot each, tucks $100 in her bra, and tells her to show him a good time. At this point, he's practically shoveling his friend into the champagne room. My brother was now content with having his good deed, so he goes back to drinking and chatting up the girls. It was going to be a good night. Or it would have been, except 5 minutes later, the groom comes storming out, followed quickly by a bouncer who's giving him shit about touching the girl. My brother comes over to assess and defuse the situation as the groom is sputtering, trying to get the words out. He finally manages, with a face the fiery crimson of a baboon's ass, to say, "You don't get it! She fucking peed on me!" At this point, the bouncer went wide-eyed and the groom stormed out. It took my brother and his friends about 10 minutes to stop laughing and go find their friend. The groom is now happily married. I went with a shitty boss to watch a lingerie show where his girlfriend worked as a server. The show starts and out she walks, in lingerie. Seems she made a career change without mentioning it to him. He goes up and tries to drag her away and she successfully fights him off. That day was such a win. Not only did I get to see an awesomely funny scene, but I got the added bonus of seeing his girlfriend pretty much naked. On his 21st birthday, my friends and I took our friend Jeff to the strip club to celebrate. We were enjoying the night, drinking a little too much, and really just having a good time celebrating together. Like everyone else who celebrates their birthday at a strip club, we bought Jeff a lap dance. The stripper had these huge knockers that she made sure to incorporate into her routine, motorboating him, and, in the process, she breaks his nose. It was a pretty shocking thing to see. And we were shortly kicked out because your friend bled all over our stripper. Good times. Had a hockey party near a friend's cottage in the Eastern Townships, an hour east of Montreal. One of the events during the rotation was a girl-on-girl show using whipped cream. One girl would apply canned whipped cream onto the other and then lick it off. Kind of classy. They stayed away from the Wagyu, but bust and thighs were on limit. Toward the end, I noticed that the whipped cream was running low. Being resourceful, I head out to the local store to find some more. They were out, so I got the closest thing, shaving cream. Once the rotation goes through again, the two start their show, this time without cream. We ask, and they say that they are out, so I present the shaving cream. I get a rave round of applause, and the two go for it. I didn't realize it at the time, but there is a huge difference between whipped cream and shaving cream. Obviously, shaving cream can't be licked off, but it also expands and is designed for coverage. Before the song ends, both of the ladies look like Frosty the Snowman, and they leave the stage to a standing ovation, leaving a trail of foam behind. The first time I was ever in a strip club, there was this blonde chick, wearing a Little Red Riding Hood getup, that thought she was some kind of acrobat. She ran at the pole at a spring, flung herself into the air, grabbed it at about chest height, and swung around the pole in a tuck position like 3 full rotations before letting go. She then tucked into a roll, trying to land right at the pervert's alley with her ankles on some guy's shoulders. She missed. Got him right in the solar plexus with her 8-inch heel. The guy was taken out of there by paramedics. It was a great night. In my freshman year of college, we threw a party and ordered 2 strippers for a buddy who was being deployed to Iraq. After about an hour, I had run out of money to buy lap dances, but I did have 2 full Subway stamp cards that my mom had given me, good for a free footlong. I asked one of the strippers if she would accept them for a lap dance, and surprisingly she did. Best lap dance I ever got. I still crack up every time I think about those stamp cards sticking out of her garter. I had just turned 21 while stationed in Pensacola, Florida. It was my first time in a strip club, so I took a few fellow Marines with me. We get there and there is a headliner, kind of like a ringer they pull in from Vegas, smoking hot and way better than the normal girls. Anyway, she has a cup between her tits and guys are throwing money trying to make it in the cup. Booby ball, they call it. So I go to a waitress and get change for $1 and I patiently wait my turn. Mind you, I cannot see what the other guys are throwing, and as I said, this was my first time. It's finally my turn. She squares up to me, leans forward, pushing her boobs out, and I go for it Jordan style with all my boys surrounding me. Thwack! A quarter sticks to her chest. She yells out in a demonic tone, which everyone can hear over the shitty techno music, "Dollars, you fucking tool!" She throws the quarter back at me and storms off stage. I was in shock and wholly embarrassed. After her set, she was signing autographs on her magazines and shirts and whatnot. I bought one and apologized profusely. She then gave me a kiss on the cheek, and I got a $20 table dance from her. One night in the club I DJ'd at, there was an 80-year-old man getting a lap dance. When the girl finished, she asked for her money, but he didn't respond, staring right at her with a drink in his hand. After a couple minutes, she poked him, and he didn't flinch at all, so she went and got the doorman. The doorman felt for a pulse. There was none. Still smiling with a beer in hand, he passed away. All the girls were like, "Poor guy." I was like, I should be so lucky to die with a beer in hand, stripper on my lap, and a grin. Also, his wife and 2 daughters came in to ask the stripper about his final moments, and they all had a few drinks together. And that concludes our wild ride through the funniest stripper stories from Reddit. We hope you had a blast and got a good laugh out of it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And comment below if you have funny stripper stories of your own. We'd love to hear from you. Once again, this is Reddit Story Hour. Stay curious, stay kind, and see you in the next video.